Take off from runway 29, taxi to hotel is the departure. LS 17 for Malmo, 1 Sierra arrival. Estimated arrival time is approximately 40 minutes. Short flight. Request for clearance. Check the ADs first. See. Information Foxtrot. Tango arrivals, TIRANA departure on TIRANA. Foxtrot. Gdansk Tower, a very good evening. EZZY255 with you. Information Foxtrot on board, requesting AFA clearance to Malmo as filed.
EZZY255 clear to Malmo VAtsim route departure runway 29, taxi to hotel squawk 4531, hello ground.
Clear to Malmo, taxi to hotel, out of runway 29, squawking 4531, EZZY255.
EZZY255, readback is correct. EZZY255, I'm not sure, but I think you are flying westbound, so your flight level should be even. I suggest you 320 or 300.
Flight level 300 as final cruising level.
Lot 123,
300, thank you.
dziękuję za kontrolę, do usłyszenia.
300, thank you, dobranoc.
Position altitude 6500.
Gdansk, ground, hello, Martin Face on Charlie, gate 29 at Alpha 7 now.
Airlink 87 Charlie, good evening, Gdansk ground. Welcome to Gdansk, taxi to stand 22 via November and Mike.
Stand to via November and Mike, Martin Face on Charlie, roger. Gdansk ground, Martin Station on Charlie. Thank you for service, goodbye.
Welcome aboard. This is your flight attendant speaking. At this time, please be sure to make sure all large carry-on items are in the overhead bins and your small items are underneath the seat in front of you. If you have any trouble or need any assistance, please don't hesitate to let a flight attendant know and we will be happy to help you. If the overhead bin is full after you put your carry-on inside of it, please close the bin as a courtesy to other passengers. Once all your items are put away, please clear the aisle and sit down in your seat to allow other passengers to find their seats as well. If you are seated in an emergency exit row, please read the exit seating responsibilities in the safety card in the seat back in front of you. Please make sure you are willing and able to perform the actions required. If you are not able or prefer not to perform these actions, please let a flight attendant know to use the
Ground EZZY255 requesting startup and pushback.
during the rest of the boarding process, but we do ask that laptops, tablets, and any other larger
EZZY255 pushback and startup approach. QNH 993 and please set squawk 4531.
Pushback and startup approved, QNH 9993 and squawking 4531, sorry about that.
4531.
We're starting out initially with someone's baggage.
4531.
It shouldn't take too long.
Gdańsk Grand, dobry wieczór, lot 203 Echo, tu taxi.
Lot 203 Echo, dobry wieczór ponownie. Gdansk Ground, witamy w Gdańsku. Stand 2-3 via Alpha November Mike.
Alpha November and Mike, stand 23, lot 203 Echo.
Hello, Captain. We're ready for pushback. Locking gear. Departure check completed.
Hello bro, how are you?
Inserted.
Everything good?
Release parking brakes. Commencing push. Due to icing conditions, please stand by for engine start until push completed and brakes set.
We are ready to go when you are. Welcome aboard flight 255. Our flight time will be roughly 45 minutes. Now that the cabin door is closed, please make sure that all devices are in airplane mode and your large devices are now shut down and stowed. Please fasten your seatbelt and make sure that all tray tables and seat backs are in a full upright and locked position for departure. Cabin crew, prepare doors for departure, cross-check, verify straps, and stand by for all calls. Gentlemen, please direct your complete attention to the flight attendants as they demonstrate the safety features of our aircraft. You will notice a light illuminated above your seat. When this light is illuminated, please fasten your seatbelt low and tight across your lap. To fasten, make the metal fittings into one another and tighten by pulling on the loose end of the strap. To release your seatbelt, lift the upper portion of the buckle. We suggest that you keep your seatbelt fastened throughout the flight as you may experience unexpected turbulence. Please take a few moments to now locate one of the several emergency exits on this aircraft. In some cases, your nearest exit may be behind you. In case of an emergency and we need to evacuate the aircraft, there is lighting on the floor that will
Gdansk ground, hello, lot 3502 with you on Golf.
will drop right in front of you.
Lot 3502, dobry wieczór, Gdańsk Ground. Witamy w Gdańsku, taxi to stand 40 via Golf Alpha November and Mike.
Although the bag does not
Stand 40 via Golf Alpha November and Mike, lot 3502.
have your mask first and then assist others. Leave your mask on until a member of the crew advises you it's safe to remove it. In the unlikely event of a water landing, a life vest is located in a pouch under your seat or between the armrests. When instructed to do so, open the plastic pouch and remove the vest. Slip it over your head. Wrap the straps around your waist and buckle at the front. Pull the strap to tighten. To inflate the vest, pull firmly on the red cord only when exiting the aircraft. If your life vest does not inflate automatically, blow into the mouthpieces for manual inflation. This vest is equipped with a whistle and light. If necessary, your seat cushion can be used as a secondary flotation device. Pull the cushion from the seat, put your arms into the straps, and hug the cushion to your chest. Please securely stow all personal items. Make sure your seatbelt
Lot 203 jako block stand. 2-3, dzięki za event, do usłyszenia.
reminds you that this is a non-smoking flight, and that includes vaping.
Dzięki, dobranoc.
Disabling or destroying the smoke detectors located in the lavatories is strictly prohibited by law. All of this information and more can be found in the safety card located in the seat back in front of you. We suggest reading this and let us know if you have any questions. If you comply with us,
Bypass spin removed. Left is clear. Right is clear.
the cabin is ready.
EZZY255 requesting taxi.
EZZY255 taxi to holding point runway 29 via Lima and Alpha.
Holding point 29 via Lima and Alpha. Thank you, EZZY255.
Alpine 4244 Gdansk.
Gdansk ground, good evening, Alpine 4244.
Alpine 4244, welcome to Gdansk, Gdansk ground, taxi to stand 24 via Alpha November and Mike.
Taxi to stand 24 via Alpha November and Mike, Alpine 4244.
EZZY255, money contact tower 118.1, cosine only, bye.
118.1, have a good night.
Thanks, you too.
Tower, good evening, EZZY255 with you.
EZZY255, Gdansk Tower, kłaniamy się. Are you able for a departure out of intersection Charlie, or would you like Bravo?
Bravo is convenience. We'll depart Bravo.
EZZY255, roger, no problem. Via Bravo, runway 29, line up and wait.
Well, Bravo, line up 29, wait.
EZZY255, the surface wind is 180 degrees 10 knots, runway 29, you're clear to take off. After departure, contact Gdansk approach frequency 127.27, bye bye.
Runway 29, clear for takeoff, wind is copy, and after departure, Gdansk radar 127.27, EZZY255. approach EZZY255 with you, passing 3,200.
EZZY255, good evening. Identified after departure, climb and maintain flight level 280.
Climb and maintain flight level 280, EZZY255.
NetJet 11, click wireless approach, runway 29, report established and free speed.
Friction 1 free speed and will report when established clear for the RS29.
Gentlemen, we have now passed 10,000.
Friction 11, for information, you are number 2, proceeding traffic, Airbus 320, 8 miles ahead.
Friction 1, we have the traffic on TIAS.
EZZY255, proceed direct, Lucid, Lima, Uniform, Sierra, India, Delta.
Proceeding direct Lucid, EZZY255.
Lufthansa 6 Papa Alpha on the ILS approach runway 29.
Lufthansa 6 Papa Alpha, contact tower 118.1, gute Nacht, tschüss.
118.1 Lufthansa 6 Papa Alpha. Thanks for your job. Have a nice evening. See you next time.
And Friction 1 on the localizer 29.
Friction 11, roger. Friction 11, contact tower 118.1, tschüss, gute Nacht.
81, tschüss, gute Nacht. Friction 1, danke.
EZZY255, contact Warsaw radar 125.450, bye bye.
125.450, have a good night.
One Mike Kilo Warszawa, kłaniam się, radar contact, cleared in Epox 5, uniform arrival, runway 33, expect ILS Yankee approach.
Expect ILS runway 33 Yankee, Epox 5, uniform Boxer 51, Mike Kilo.
Warsaw radar, good evening, EZZY255 with you, climb at flight level 280.
EZZY255, radar contact, Gdansk approach gave you this frequency?
Yeah.
Okay, copied. Remain on my frequency.
Center, good evening, with Sky 249er climbing flight level 360.
With Sky 249er Warszawa radar contact, continue climb level 360.
Continue climb 360 and any chance to step away for 5 minutes?
That's not problem. Report back.
Thank you.
And Pastor 2 Charlie Papa established on the localizer for runway 33.
Pastor 2 Charlie Papa, kontakt Okensie Tower 18-3, miękkiego.
18-3, dzięki piękne i do miłego, Pastor 2 Charlie Papa.
Now, for the first time, with unprecedented access to the pilots and their cockpits, we'll show you an airline like it's never been seen before. And this year, EasyJet plan to fly to even more destinations with more passengers.
Old and haggard.
So they're taking to the skies with hundreds of new...
Lot to Echo Tango, continue descent, 3,000 feet altitude, proceed direct airlock.
The final stage of their training is on the job.
Direct to airlock and descent 3,000, not to Echo.
Coming along for the sometimes bumpy ride.
Lufthansa 884 Warszawa.
Wannabe co-pilots.
Go ahead.
Lufthansa 884 contact Kaliningrad control, frequency 123.70, dziękuję.
Lufthansa 884 contact 123.7, thank you, bye-bye.
Thank you, bye.
In the last 20 years, Britain's budget airlines
EZZY255, climb level 300.
Climb flight level 300, EZZY255.
In the UK, EasyJet lead the way.
Warszawa radar, Lufthansa 2901, request descent to flight level 100.
Lufthansa 2901, descent level 100.
Descending 100, Lufthansa 2901.
Lot 522, continue descent altitude 4,000 feet, QNH Poznań, correction, 9er, QNH 9er.
Descent to 4,000 feet and QNH 9er, lot 522.
The key UK centre for the EasyJet training pilot program is Manchester. It's one of EasyJet's busiest bases.
Lot to Echo Tango, descent 3,000 feet, clear to ILS Yankee approach, runway 33, report established number 2.
Descent 3,000 and report established, ILS 33, lot to Echo Tango.
This is the best part of the job, really, putting on the uniform.
It's the pilot.
It's not all orange.
26-year-old Cornelius Wilson finished his 2-year pilot's course just 8 days ago and will be flying his first paying passengers in just 2 hours' time.
I think the more confident you are, the more relaxed you'll be. But when I see
Sugar 850 Tango, request descent.
terminal up to the steps,
Sugar 850 Tango, descent level 100.
Descent flight level 100, Sugar 850 Tango.
I've seen this series
It's
too.
11 a.m. and whilst
Very good
unsuspecting
series.
passengers bound for Hamburg pick up some duty-free, novice pilot Cornelius picks up his first pre-flight briefing.
That's kind of a milestone day for you, first day on the aircraft, isn't it?
very much so.
Commercial route,
One of them
passengers
had
on board.
already
Yes,
First to 50
quite a lot of them
sectors.
struggled
Quite a lot of
for
them, yeah.
center lines.
He's one of the 300
landings, I
rookies
think.
that EasyJet are training up this summer in their new pilot push.
Passenger load wise, 156, and there's your payloads, that's right.
Keeping an eye on Cornelius today is Simon White, who's about to find out why he's paid around 150 grand as a training captain.
I haven't actually done a takeoff yet.
Oh, right, okay.
So
There's a first for
advanced
everything, isn't there, really?
thrusters or anything, yeah.
So we'll do that today, shall we?
So, there we go.
Brilliant, yeah, not a problem.
Lot 45 Tango, Warszawa.
In the UK, 17 flights a day are flown
Lot
by a
45
training
Tango.
pilot. That's
Lot
over
45
60
Tango, have you managed to fix the problem?
with a learner driver at the helm. under
We
the
solved
watchful
this
eye.
problem, Lot 45 Tango.
Okay, splendid. Then contact Zero Control at 135.3, dziękuję.
Replica of the cockpit. What you don't have is everything leading up to that. It's
135.3, lot 45 Tango, dziękuję bardzo, miłego wieczoru, hej hej.
dispatches,
Trzymaj się, hej.
and it's just trying to
Warszawa radar, Lufthansa 891, inbound Tylas, flight level 360.
Lufthansa 891, Warszawa radar contact.
You're counting
Continue.
down the seconds until you can skip the ad, right? I get it. But what if you never had to watch an ad again? What if you had a...
Lot 2 Echo Tango established ILS 233.
Lot 2 Echo Tango, contact frequency tower, frequency 118.3. Enjoy, thank you, ciao.
118.3, Lot 2 Echo Tango.
Would be Sky 249 is back.
Thank you, that's copied.
I think you're raring to go. But
Lot 522, descend 3000 feet, clear ILS approach, runway 28, report established number 1, and you can proceed direct Papa Oscar 702.
I've got to make sure that the aircraft delivers these people to where they want to go.
Lot 522, descent 3000 feet, and clear to approach runway 28.
Lot 522 and proceed direct Papa Oscar 702.
Warszawa Ryda, dobry wieczór, Aeroflot 255, flight 370 inbound, Gomet.
Aeroflot 2583, Warszawa Radar contact, continue.
But his two minders can take over if necessary.
Warszawa Radar, dobry wieczór, Ryanair 1 Kilo Foxtrot, fly level 360, inbound, ECFAT.
Ryanair 1 Kilo Foxtrot, Warszawa Radar contact, proceed direct Navot. Warszawa Radar Wizard 2804, descend level 100, break, Ryanair 1 Kilo Foxtrot, proceed direct Navot.
Direct Mavot, Ryanair 1 Kilo Foxtrot.
Descend 100, Wizard 2804. Ryanair 20, Quebec Delta, confirm climb level 380.
I firm climbing level 380, Ryanair 20, Quebec Delta.
This is real.
Warsaw Radar, good evening, Evelyn 2 Charlie Mike at Gdansk, request taxi to the active.
Air Berlin 2 Charlie Mike, taxi to holding point runway 29er via taxiways Mike, Alpha and Charlie.
Taxi to holding point runway 29er via Mike, Alpha and Charlie. Evelyn 2 Charlie Mike.
Parents, supporting me the way they did.
Warsaw Radar, good evening, Lobby Tates, with you, altitude, flight level 330, direct Winka, Lobby Tates.
Lot 88, Warszawa Radar contact, continue.
Warszawa Radar, dobry wieczór, with EZZY2 at Gdansk, request taxi.
Wizard 662, taxi only point runway 29er via taxiways Mike, Alpha, Charlie and follow Air Berlin traffic.
Taxi via Mike, Alpha, Charlie to holding point runway 29er and follow Fiber, which is 662.
Alan, a couple of things, fell over. Thrust set. 100 knots, checked.
Once the plane reaches 140 miles per hour, there's no going back.
V1, rotate.
V1 means it has to take off.
Wizard 2804, proceed direct Kilo Tango 533.
Good, very good. Smooth.
Direct Kilo Tango 533.
Okay, so that's the upwind end of the runway now.
And Lot 2 Echo Tango on the go around direct to Malmo.
Lot 2 Echo Tango, turn left heading 150, vector silence Yankee approach, runway 33.
Left 150, vector silence 33, Yankee approach, Lot 2 Echo Tango.
Angle all at the same time, which makes it difficult to
Roda Rusa, rowing 217 with you at Festival 360, considering on below. Rowings 217, Warszawa Radar contacts, continue. Continuing, rowing 217.
That didn't go well.
Warszawa Radar, cześć Mikołaj, lot 782, flight level 340.
These pilots need to pass if they're
Lot 782, kłaniam się, clear to Nepox 5, uniform arrival, runway 33, expect ILS Yankee approach.
Clear to Nepox 5 uniform, expect ILS Yankee, runway 33.
after 51, Mike Kilo when ready descent level 100.
Sitting in the jet the first time.
One ready descent by level 100, after
Because you've got millions of pounds of jet in your fingertips.
Lot 782 when ready descent level 120.
It's a bit of pressure.
When ready, descent flight level 120, lot 782.
Previously,
Ryanair 225, cleared Oslo, 3 Tango, arrival runway 29er, expect ILS approach.
Clear Oslo, 3 Tango, arrival to runway 29er, approach,
EZZY255, leaving my space monitoring, you come 122.8, ciao.
128, thank you, ciao.
Retard is an instruction to pull the throttle
Proszę
back
pana,
and
Drogowego
slow
Mosta,
down.
Mike request clearance flight to get aboard.
Stand by, break, lot 522, runway 28 clear to land, surface wind Poznań.
All pilots are taught to land on the center line, so the plane won't fall off the runway and crash in the event of mechanical failure.
So, are you on the centre line?
No.
Okay, so come left a bit onto the centre line.
Ryan needs to line up on the middle of the runway, or else he'll repeat his simulator mistake. But the consequences are much worse.
Set 3.5. Look outside, hold it.
It seems we're doing alright, to be fair. He looks bang on the centre line, which is good.
But Ryan now has a bigger problem. He's approaching with the nose too high. He could hit the tail on the runway, causing millions of pounds of damage. If not corrected, training captain Paul Galbraith will be forced to take over the controls and abort the landing.
Retard, 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 retard.
I've control.
Got control.
Toga 10.
A Toga 10 is airline speak for when the captain must accelerate rapidly and climb 10 degrees to avoid crash landing.
Flat 3.
Mantoga, SRS go around track.
Jet.
Ryan knows he's got to do better.
I'm control for a minute.
Yep.
You relax. So, landing attitude on that one?
Yeah, it was
Too high, too low,
yeah,
or just right? Too high, wasn't it? Yeah. So, what could you do next time if you set the wrong landing attitude initially? Correct it, mate.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to correct it.
He now needs to put the mistake behind him and nail his next landing.
It's checked. All clear your side, mate?
Yep.
Excellent. Let's start our downwind turn. So set 3 degrees, looking at that flight path angle. So that's 5 degrees. So up a bit, up a bit, up a bit.
When I was a student, I'd write long essays that I'd work on for days. But now, I'm writing short emails and messages all day, every day. Grammarly has been a life.
That's the centre line there. Keep scanning. Flight path angles drifting slightly low.
With 70 tons of plane traveling at 180 miles per hour, maintaining the angle of descent is crucial.
Look inside, reset 3 degrees, wings to the bird just below the horizon. And hold that all the way down now to the front.
50, 40, 30, 20, retard, retard.
So just gently release the back pressure, gently release the back pressure. Round of applause as well.
Yeah, that was for you, I think. Yeah, I just landed that. So that just feels amazing every time. Good. Oh, so good job. Good job. Good landing.
Ryan may have impressed his buddies, but next time he'll be flying 180 passengers who'll expect to land first time.
Of course.
Landmark, the block of flats.
This one is very
The
good.
decision point. And at that point, for me, yeah, your adrenaline is going.
In less than a minute, there'll be no going back.
The flats coming in. Gear down, please. Gear.
With seconds to spare, the first landmark, the block of flats.
Lovely. Coming in nicely, got the rabbits. Right.
And then the strobes they call the rabbits. But that runway's still nowhere to be seen. If he doesn't see the runway in the next 10 seconds, he will have to abort.
Minimum.
Continue. Check.
With not a second to spare,
3 whites correcting.
The runway appears.
Boat, you're clear to land. Those last few seconds are always intense.
40, 30, 20, retard, retard.
All Bridge needs to do now is stop 66 tons of plane before the icy runway runs out.
Not the nicest of days, is it? No. Still somebody jogging out over there. Oh, of course.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the captain with an update on our progress.
I know everybody would like to get to Belfast, and so would we. If we can't get in, we can't get in.
Okay, so still 35 up here. Visual with the field now.
Landing in crosswinds at Belfast will require a technique called crabbing. Flying sideways towards the runway, the nose of the plane pointed into the wind, and then straightening up just before touchdown. The final 100 feet of the descent requiring all of the pilot's skill to hold the Airbus steady as it's buffeted by gusts of wind.
When you get 30 knots and it's gusting, that can cause the upset, and it's more challenging. The higher the crosswind, you know, undoubtedly it's more challenging.
Yeah, down.
Less than 2 minutes before landing, Captain Steve takes manual control, then uses the side stick in his left hand to maneuver the plane's nose into the wind.
When you're actually coming down in a crosswind, it's all very dynamic, and really you're just constantly battling with the side stick more than anything on the actual approach with the upset and the gusts of wind.
500.
At any given point during that approach, everybody needs to be happy with what is happening.
30 seconds from touchdown, and in the strong winds, Steve has moments to draw on his expertise to stabilize the plane's movement.
100 above. 50, 40, 30, 20, retard, retard.
Captain Steve commits to landing.
First green. Lisa.
One down, 3 to go.
You made it look so easy. 70
That's what I was feeling in the end.
Everybody likes a good landing, you know. Everybody's got a little bit of touch of pride every now and then, even though they may say they don't.
Welcome to Aldergrove.
Yeah, great landing. They know how to fly.
Yeah, I hope so.
Obviously. You'd hope so.
But while his passengers are relieved to be back on terra firma,
Thank you, bye-bye. Bye now, take care.
for Captain Steve and First Officer Ajit, this is only the beginning.
It was okay. It's not as bad as it will be back into Newcastle, so but that was a good one.
400 miles away from Belfast and 3 miles from Gatwick, First Officer Iris DeCarn is continuing her quest to become an EasyJet captain. This year, EasyJet will promote over 150 First Officers to the rank of captain.
You guys have jumped through lots of hoops to get here already, haven't you?
A role that brings complete responsibility for plane and passengers and commands a 6-figure salary.
So we'll come through to VAtsim then.
But not everyone who applies makes the grade, and Iris has already been through a rigorous selection process.
There we go.
Which began almost 18 months ago.
You have to perform
Every simulator session, every question they ask you, you know, you have to know what you're doing, you have to be on top of it, and I can fail.
Over the next 6 days, Iris will face the worst scenarios that can be thrown at a captain, from manual landing in ultra-low visibility, smoke in the cockpit, and the ultimate nightmare, twin engine failure.
There's going to be a lot of things thrown at you. And I think in all of it, my biggest thing has been that I haven't been confident enough in myself. So now I feel like I am confident and I am ready.
Iris's first task might seem simple. Execute a smooth landing and takeoff. But this time, she must do it from the captain's chair. It's a massive adjustment. The A320 is flown using a side stick. For first officers, this is operated by their right hand. Captains, however, sit on the left, and so must switch to their left hand, often quite a challenge.
Okie dokie, center line.
And guiding Iris during this tricky first day is training captain Chris Yates.
Did say you didn't use your left hand for much. It's just familiarity, that's all it is.
Acting as her first officer is fellow captaincy hopeful Giovanni Spina.
How are you feeling?
A bit busy.
Sorry.
No, I'm joking. No, it's fine.
Gosh, I'm really trying very hard.
If you want, we stop.
Yeah, stop 1 sec.
EZZY5 Alpha Mike, we are ready for departure runway 27.
Time for the inaugural test of Iris's left-handed flying.
Gear up.
Yep. Up.
So far, so good.
Let's just get to 3 miles.
Next up, an even more challenging test.
4.
Landing the A320.
Okay. Is that 2,000 feet, please?
2,000.
VS 1,000, please.
Yes, 1,000.
Approaching the runway too fast, Iris lifts the nose of the plane a fraction too high in an attempt to slow down.
Oops.
Okay, spoilers. Bigger screen. And it's manual braking.
Check manual braking.
Okay. Just bring it to a nice halt there, Iris. There we are. Okay.
No one's still alive. Sorry about the landing.
I think we would live to tell the tale. We would live to tell the tale.
Shit.
A bad start, and the end of the first week's training didn't bring better news.
I did my final sim. I was so stressed. All went well until the end, and then I didn't pass, which is really nervous. And I think my confidence kind of slipped away. It's a bump in the road, and I'm gonna do it. I'm still gonna do it. I'm still here. I'm still in it, and yeah.
It's just a shame.
It's just a really massive shame.
EasyJet train up about 600 new pilots every year.
So yeah, take your time, get yourself into the correct seating positions.
This is very surreal.
It's an intense 18-month course.
This is a bit lower.
You're an excellent pilot. Yeah? Yeah, that looks good. Excellent.
Once qualified, they can be posted to any one of 30 bases in Europe where they will live and work. And for newly qualified 26-year-old Josh Taylor, it's Paris.
Just got to find my way to the crew room now.
Unfortunately for Josh, he didn't study French at school.
When I was told I was going to move to Paris, it wasn't something that I wanted specifically. I was really nervous because I'm obviously Yorkshire born and bred.
Today is his first day on the job. His first flight with passengers awaits. If he can get through the crew room door.
There we go.
Hi guys.
How are we doing?
Hi, Adam. Josh?
Josh, yeah. Nice to meet you.
Jean-Stéphane, bonjour.
As a newbie, Josh will be overseen by training captain Adam Elmstead.
How's life?
Not too bad, yeah. Just settling in.
Welcome to Paris.
Yeah, thank you very much.
How's your French?
Terrible.
Good.
Awful.
But Josh won't yet be judged on his linguistic skills. This morning's passengers will be more interested in his flying ability.
Yep. Oxygen testing.
Okay.
Okay, gonna go?
Yep.
Today's flight will be from Paris to Toulouse. Captain Adam will be taking off, but if the conditions are good in Toulouse, Josh will perform his first landing on the job.
You want to impress, you want to show the training captain and the line captain you're with that you're able to perform at the level you're required to day in, day out.
Okay, ready? Okay, take off.
Nice and below the proper. Do you try and take it from here already then, Joshua?
I can do,
yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. You have control?
I have control your radios.
My radios. Whenever you're ready, you can disconnect and get a feel of the Airbus.
Understood. Disconnect.
Yep.
During your first landing, there's a moment you take control and you disconnect the autopilot, and it's at that moment you're flying the jet, you're looking down the runway and you're thinking, right, I've got to get this right.
The pressure's on for Josh to land safely with 150 passengers as witnesses.
On the surface, you know, you are calm, level-headed, ready to do a job.
Don't forget to look outside as well, Joshua, so you get the visual picture.
Understood. On the inside, the first line I was thinking, can I do this?
But Josh has positioned the nose of the plane too low, which makes for a very bumpy landing for his passengers.
Select reverse. And descend.
Not quite the smooth start he was hoping for.
Sorry about that, by the way, it was pretty bad.
You can take off your shoulder harnesses as well.
Still reeling after it. That's why it was pretty terrible, really. Yeah, it's the inexperience with it, I think, but it shouldn't happen again.
It's very natural that you feel like this, and if you'd say that you're comfortable with it, I'll be worried.
Josh has at least another 50 flights with a training captain, so he can improve his technique.
How many hours have you got now?
1500 now.
1500?
First Officer Ajit and Captain Steve are heading back from Belfast to Newcastle. It's the second of their 4 flights today. They're just off the coast of northwest England, flying over an extremely breezy Irish sea.
Oh, lovely. Just 30 knots across.
And wind speeds have continued to increase. Bad news for the more apprehensive passengers.
Very nervous, I threw out twice before I came on. I don't fly often. Right, I haven't, no, since the year 2000.
With some of the strongest winds of the year, it might be more like flying QueasyJet today.
This is going to be challenging, I think.
Yeah.
And when one of the most experienced captains in the company says it's challenging, it might be time to worry.
Okay, let's prepare the cabin for that.
Yeah. Every time you're in the right seat, it's going to be a learning day.
As they approach the runway, 40-mile-an-hour crosswinds batter the plane, rocking it from side to side.
In turbulent conditions, it's not us that is, if you like, stirring the stick.
Steve needs to keep the plane level for a safe landing.
500.
Stable.
Minimum. $50, $40, $30, $20. Retard, retard, retard.
Spoilers. First green.
Back on firm ground.
That was fun, mate. Thank God for the rosary.
There is a palpable sense of relief amongst passengers.
Just like that, everybody appreciates their life again.
I was more nervous for the guys behind there.
And we fell out of the sky, so we did.
I'm just glad to be alive.
But while most passengers are glad the flight is over,
So guys, did you have a good flight?
Yeah, straightforward, absolutely. Why are you laughing at you?
I'd like to remind Steve that he couldn't have done it if I wasn't there, so...
Just part of the job.
after a quick turnaround, Steve and Ajit have just one more return flight to Bristol before they can finally call it a day.
I bet you're not old enough to know the film Zulu, are you? Ever heard of it? Michael Caine?
I prefer Back to the Future.
88 miles an hour, Marty. That's it, isn't it? Make sure there's a storm.
And where Steve and Ajit are going, they don't need roads. Early morning at Paris Charles de Gaulle Airport.
Do you want to just have a quick gander at the load sheet? So, why not?
Newbie First Officer Josh is preparing to fly to Gatwick.
I've got 58 as zero fuel weight and CFG is 33.4.
His first landing with passengers was a bit bumpy. Today, he's hoping for a smoother touchdown. And there's a special passenger he's really hoping to impress.
It's rare, I can just make out two people in there.
Dad, Ian, stocked up all the money for his son's training, 120,000. 500. Above. Minimum. $50, 40, 30, 20, retard, 10, retard, 100 above. Minimum.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached our destination. The local time is 4:18 p.m. and it's currently about 7 degrees Celsius. You can now use your mobile devices. Please remain seated until the aircraft has come to a complete stop and the seatbelt sign is turned off. Remember to use caution when opening the overhead bins as items may have shifted during the flight. If this is your final destination, we thank you for flying with us and we hope to see you again soon.
Thank you, bro. And there was a wind of 15.